Mellow.
What up, y'all? My name's GLC. Right now, you know what I'm saying, I'm congregating. I met me a lot of new mellows, you know what I'm talking about? But right now, you chilling and tuning in with my partner DJ Mellow, and you tuned in to the newmellow.com. Newmellow.com, don't be alarmed. GLC exercising his pimpin' charm. Church. Well, first off, my name's GLC. And GLC stands for the Gangster Legendary Crisis. It's my life story. I lost my father when I was 8 months, lost my mom when I was 12, was diagnosed with diabetes at 14, grew up in a gang, all the type of violent shit and crazy corrupt shit that you hear as a youth. Like, a lot of us got the same story, you know what I'm saying? We all went through hardships. But as opposed to making myself, becoming a product of my environment, I just chose to make my environment a product of me. And I exercise my ism. My ism is my allure, it's my aura, it's my vibe, it's my energy. And I give it to y'all, you know what I'm talking about? Through the grace of God, y'all just been embracing the concept, and I definitely appreciate it.
So where you from, GLC?
I'm from Chicago, the south side of Chicago, baby, 87th Street.
Well, what age did you start rhyming?
Well, I started rhyming when I was a kid. Actually, I saw like this Ice-T album cover for this album he had called Power. He had a wife at the time by the name of Darlene. And she had on a thong, and he was standing up there looking real pimpish, and I was like, damn, rappers can get like beautiful, pretty wives like this with nice physiques. And then I saw like Big Daddy Kane, he had like high top fade, all G'd up, gold chains, dancing in suits and shit, looking really cool. Then I saw Slick Rick, just looking super cool, and what's it called, Children's Story. Like we were talking about Uncle Ricky. I was like, that was church. Then I saw 8 Ball and MJG pimping. I saw Eazy-E and NWA, UGK, all those groups. I saw guys that looked like me and talk like me, or maybe from the same substance, but they was getting money, and they wasn't selling drugs, and they wasn't gang banging, they wasn't doing no crazy shit. They was actually doing something positive and productive and getting money. But they was telling their stories, because at one point, they probably was in the streets. They might have did a little hustling, a little pimping, a little, you know, indulgence into the underworld. But at the end of the day, I saw them all, they all made it to the screen, and as a little kid, I was inspired by that. I wanted to become that. So hip-hop inspired me to want to rap, and that's why I started doing it, you know? I lived south side of Chicago when I grew up in the street organization. Lately, y'all probably heard that record that Rick Ross has. It's called BMF, and you're like, Big Meech, Larry Hoover. Well, I don't know if y'all familiar, but I was on a BET documentary called American Gangster, and it was about Larry Hoover. And I wasn't on that documentary because I rap. I was on that documentary because I grew up in that organization. I'm the first time where a member of that organization is being brought to the light, where I'll be able to expose and tell the stories and the things that I witnessed and endured growing up in Chicago in the 90s, you know what I'm talking about? So it's a different outlook on anything that's out there right now. That's one thing that sets me apart. Another thing that sets me apart is I'm the ism. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't nobody else the ism. Ain't nobody else understanding and manifesting the manuscript in the way that I do. So at the end of the day, I give you love, life, and loyalty. I give it to you, and it's something to pursue.
How'd you link up with Kanye?
I linked up with Kanye through a mutual friend by the name of Bird Drake. You know what I'm talking about? He's a guy that grew up in my neighborhood, but he went to elementary school with Kanye. He went to the magnet school where he was a little bit, you know, a little gifted a little bit, you know what I'm talking about? Or it just offered a better opportunity for you to gain more on the intellectual side, you know what I'm talking about? So he went to school with him. He ran into him in like a grocery store or something in Chicago while we was in high school, and then next thing you know, he was like, yo, I ran into my guy I went to grammar school with, he made beats, you should get up with him. Because I was rapping back then, we was kids trying to rap, like this is non-fiction, you know what I'm talking about? So at the end of the day, one day we went over Kanye's house. I'll go over there, this dude in there making beats, bobbing his head, doing the beats and shit, super hard. As a kid, he was focused on that shit. And I'm sitting up there, fresh as hell, with my polo on and my fresh ass Jordans and shit, looking real pimpish, and you know, high as hell, but still getting all the lady clientele. So I go in there, and you know, we embracing the concept. We embrace music, we embrace black nationalism. His mama had all this African art all throughout the crib, and my brother had all that type of stuff too. So it was like, damn. So we both come from this, but we both had them pimping genes in our bones at the same time too. So our concept was embraced, we did music, and we grew and developed over the years together. Church. Whether we all know it or not, we all living in the matrix right now. You can buy food on the internet, you can buy clothes on the internet, You can watch videos on the internet. You can do a little pimping on the internet. It's a lot of, I know everybody here probably did some macking on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, you know, even if it wasn't intentional, you know what I'm talking about? So at the end of the day, yeah, of course it's taken away from record sales because we see the decline in the numbers, but at the end of the day, it helped a player like me stay afloat. I never put out an album before. I'm the first time EMI has ever done a distribution deal with an artist with no sales history, and that came from the love, life, and loyalty that I received from the internet. Because, you know, you can go hard in the streets, which I do, and that's a beautiful thing, but numbers, that's what matters. On the internet, people can see them numbers. Like, if you Google me, you're gonna see me everywhere. So at the end of the day, it's a way for people to bring awareness. Like, look at Wiz Khalifa, he's from Pittsburgh. Back in the 90s, would an artist from Pittsburgh been able to get on like that? And now he everywhere doing his thing. I'm from the south side of Chicago. I'm the Checks, I'm the Ism. And look what the internet done for me. It made my vision risen. Church. And at the end of the day, whenever you come up under a certain program or a certain, like the OGs, man, you gotta respect the culture. You gotta respect everything that came before you, because without that, you wouldn't be here. There would be no you. Like, I want to just shout out Jay-Z for bringing Kool Herc out and doing what he did at the Yankee Stadium. You know what I'm talking about? Saying he's doing it for hip hop. He had Kool Herc. Kool Herc was DJing in the Bronx. Like, he kicked off this hip hop shit. So at the end of the day, if it wasn't for guys that, see what those Chicago rappers showed me, they showed me that by us being in the middle, we listened to the East, the South, the West. But what they showed me was that they didn't have to sacrifice their Chicagoism in order to get on. Because when I heard them people that I named, I knew where they was from. And I feel like the best artists, you know where they from. And the best artists you can name in a word or a sentence. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you think Jay, the hustler from Brooklyn. Biggie, the fat fly nigga from Brooklyn. You know what I'm talking about? Eazy-E, the gangbanger from Compton with the Jerry curl. You can name who they are. You know what I'm talking about? So all the artists I named, they gave me direction because I knew who they was. You know what I'm talking about? You feel like you know these guys. So yeah, they definitely, I embrace their concept. But what sets me apart from them is I'm my own person. I got my own ideologies. I'm the ism. My concept is embraced from place to place, from state to state. So I can't do nothing but raise my rate. Check. My album. Well, on my album, I have Kanye West, of course. You know what I'm talking about? My brother, he's on the album, as well as T-Pain, as well as Bun B. I brought the great Sir Mix-a-Lot out of retirement. I'm also the first time Bruce Springsteen has ever cleared a sample for anybody. He cleared a sample for me, and the group that sang the sample originally, they got on my album and re-sang the shit. So I got Man for Man on my album, you know what I'm talking about? I got Bump J on my album. I got Twista on my album. Man, this group from here called Christian Rich, they on my album, they from Chicago. The legendary Traxter, he's on my album. My man Bird Dre from Chicago. And man, I'm just blessed. I'm blessed right now because at the end of the day, the crazy part is people be like, man, he got all them features. I know he paid a whole lot of money for them. No, I didn't. I ain't paid nothing for them. All they told me was, you owe me one. Because they fucked with what I was doing. And the only way they knew what I was doing was because of the internet. Church. That's all. Well,
how you gonna stay a humble guy? That's what I want to know.
I'm gonna tell you a little something about me, brother. I got an album coming out, right? But before I got an album coming out, I got 2 Grammys. I traveled the world. You know what I'm talking about? I was on College Dropout and Late Registration. I rapped on a record called Spaceship. Another record called Drive Slow. I was on Jay-Z's The Black Album. I'm the dude on there saying, it's star time. That was my first gig. I made all y'all say ho, but y'all didn't even know it. That was me. You know what I'm talking about? I did that. I've done a lot, man. I've accomplished a lot. But at the end of the day, I never let my ism sway, and I never let it get away. You know what I'm talking about? I understand that without the people, just as I said earlier, everybody has a choice. Either they can fuck with you or they not gonna fuck with you. Due to the fact that people fuck with you, you gotta appreciate that. You can't take that for granted. Whenever people fuck with you, your attitude should be gratitude, and that's what my attitude is. It's due to the fact that all the hardships I've been through and shit. Like, I lost my mom. I got diabetes. You know, I've been shot at and stole on. You know what I'm talking about? I grew up in a street organization. I went through tough times. So it's not that I just appreciate people, but I appreciate life. So all that shit, man, I don't even apply to me.